All right, everyone, welcome to episode 12 of Orlando Out of Context. I'm Brian.
I'm Stephanie.
Welcome, guys. Please follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context and visit us at orlandooutofcontext.com. And make sure that you listen and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. And we'd love if you give us a review over on iTunes. Welcome, everyone.
If you're a dedicated listener, you know we've been gone for a minute. We took a little week off.
Yeah, we took a weekend off.
We've been having some busy times.
Yeah, I was out of town 2 weekends in a row, and then you were out of town last weekend, so we just didn't get a chance to record enough episodes. Sometimes we record a few back to back.
We just want to put out quality stuff. We don't want to just
Right.
talk to talk.
So, Stephanie, you went to Pittsburg.
Yes, I went to see Hanson and my family, of course. That's always the main reason.
How was the weather? Did you get a break from the heat?
No, absolutely not. It was hot as hell. My mother doesn't have air conditioning.
I just can't believe that. Do other people in Pennsylvania have air conditioning?
I do not know. I don't know.
You don't know the culture of AC? Like, does Rachel have AC in her friend Rachel who lives there? Does she have AC in her apartment?
Yes, I'm pretty sure she
does.
Her
parents have AC?
And she lives in an apartment that's super old, and my mom's house is newer
than hers.
I think Rachel might have like a window unit. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I guess I never really paid attention growing up. Because it's not like it is in Florida there. It's not like deathly hot. It's almost the opposite. Like Pennsylvania is the opposite of Florida, is in we deal with extreme heat for like 9 months, and then we get like a little teeny break of cooler weather.
Mm-hmm. And PA,
and Pennsylvania gets about 9 months of just miserable cold and a few months of like 70s, 80s weather.
Right.
So it's not always super hot, but the weekend that I was there, it was
really hot.
Really hot.
The pictures kind of looked hot.
I'm just thankful we didn't get any rain, because it was supposed to rain the whole weekend, and all the events that I planned were outdoors. Mm-hmm. So our friends Alini and Junior and our friend Rachel from Chicago, we all met up in Pittsburgh.
And I met Alini and Junior the weekend before in New York. So
we kind of passed them around. Yes. They met in New York, and then they drove from New York to me. And they all stayed at my mom's house with me. We went to see Hanson's new tour that they're on. It's called Hanson String Theory, and they're traveling around the United States. I'm not sure if they're going to like Canada or other countries, but they're doing tours with Pittsburgh. They did it with the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, and they're touring with other. So I didn't realize
they were like hitting up other symphony orchestras across the country.
Yeah, if
you
check out Hanson.net, you can read the different. Not every city they're going to have the city orchestra. Like some places they've hired an orchestra to do it, but most cities they've tried to get the orchestra that plays in that city.
That's cool.
They're not coming to Orlando because Hanson is coming October 29th through the 31st for the Epcot Food and Wine Festival, but they will be taking the String Theory Tour to Miami on October 25th and St. Petersburg on October 26th.
So are you going to those?
I really wanted to, like, initially. So they announced Pittsburgh as the first date, and that's why we all jumped on it. Like, oh, we gotta go, because we thought it was going to be like, at the time, we thought it was going to be an exclusive event, like just a couple select cities. And then it turned into this big, long tour. And like just 2 weeks ago, they released the Miami St. Petersburg dates, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go. I'm going to drive all the way to Miami, see it in Miami, drive up to Tampa, see it in Tampa. But then I started looking at the prices, and the prices are so expensive. I know it's because they're playing with a symphony orchestra, and I understand, it's a lot of money.
Sure.
Like I paid, the ticket that we got in Pittsburgh was only $55.
Right.
But I looked up the prices for St. Petersburg and Miami, and it was like $80, $90
for each one.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might.
Well, St. Pete
on my
might
work
be worth
schedule,
it.
I might go to St. Pete.
Yeah.
Because it was beautiful. It was just a different concert experience. Like, it was so nice. Everyone was sitting down. Nobody was shouting, jumping. acting like crazy bitches. They were just sitting and enjoying the music for what it was. And it was so beautiful to hear like a full orchestra along with my favorite band. Some of the songs are like their old songs that they arranged for the orchestra. And then they've also added a few new songs as part of the Hanson String Theory album.
That's cool. Yeah, they never play my favorite song, which is Georgia.
They never do. I don't know why.
It's a good song.
I think we'll have to like when Junior and Alini go back to the island.
Yeah,
we should have him ask.
Well, pretty soon they're gonna know who Junior is.
I think they do.
I think they do already know.
They shouted him out. Did you see they reposted one of his stories? Yeah, I saw they reposted.
Yeah, they did repost, but pretty soon they're gonna recognize him.
There was another good thing at the beginning of the performance. They said that any kind of video recording or pictures was forbidden.
But you and Junior both recorded.
I mean, everyone was pretty like they were good, as in they didn't. But I think everyone was kind of sneaking here and there, just because we wanted to have some kind of like. It was so amazing. You just wanted to have like a little piece of it. Like I wanted to be able to come home and show my mom and like show everyone else. Like, oh my God, this is how amazing it was.
Was it full?
It was pretty full. It wasn't sold out, but it was pretty full. But we were all the way in the back of the first level. Mm-hmm. So basically everyone was in front of us. And I really did not see anyone, usually when you're at an event, you see people like holding up their arm, right. Just holding it the whole freaking time and the glow of the screen. So it kind of takes away from things. But it was nice to like look out into a sea of people and just see them listening.
Right.
Like just see them enjoying it, taking it in for what it is. Beautiful music.
That's cool.
So if you get a chance and if you have any interest, even if you're not a Hanson fan, like if you're just a music fan, it's amazing. It was a really cool experience. Check out the St. Petersburg show.
Yeah, that's the closest one to Orlando. What date is it again?
That's October 26th, and then they'll be in Miami on the 25th, and then they'll be here in Orlando the 29th through the 31st at Epcot for the Food and Wine Festival. For like, I want to say like the 6th year in a row.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So ever since they've been coming for Food and Wine, they don't really do Orlando concerts anymore. Like they just count that as their tour stop. So every time they're on tour, they never come to Orlando. I mean, it's good. It's good for me because I'm an annual pass holder at Disney. But right. For people who aren't, that's like $100 a day to get into the park. So if you want to see them for 3 days in a row, you have to buy park tickets.
Right. And they play smaller sets for sure.
Yeah, they do. It's like 3 20-minute concerts
each night that they're there.
But I like that too because A, they can't be late. They have to be on time.
Yeah, they have to be on time.
And that's like a thing of theirs to just stroll on the stage whenever they fucking feel like it. And I get a seat. I get to sit my ass down in a seat. And usually it's like they usually come around the end of October. So that's a time here in Orlando when the weather's transitioning. So you can have some cooler nights.
Yeah.
And that's nice. And it's my favorite place. Disney, my favorite people, Hanson.
And it's
great on Halloween.
And it's
my favorite holiday.
Food and wine. Food and wine's fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then you guys, I think you should shout out Hot Dog Shop.
So the Hot Dog Shop is a small fast food kind of diner joint. It's a chain. There's several of them, but only in my town. And it's the place that Stephanie got her first job. I was a burger girl there. I worked at the cash register. And so I always like to bring people, like when people come visit, that's like where I take them to eat. Mm-hmm. Even though it's not that great. Like, it's just burgers and fries, but it's so freaking good.
Well, I mean, you make it. You say it's not that great, but I really think that it probably is.
I think it is. To me, it is, but I always wonder. But then, so I took Rachel, Lainey, Junior, and they loved it. I think Rachel was over it like the third day. But Alini and Junior, they went on their own free will. Right. As they were exiting, as they were driving their car back.
Their last morning that they were in Pittsburg, Alini and Junior, I think it was Junior, texted me this picture of them.
I woke up, I rolled over, picked up my cell phone, and there it was, like a picture of them with like cappuccino coffee
They
cups.
sent me the pictures of their to-go hot dog shop cups. I was like, oh my gosh.
I was so proud. It was such a proud moment for me.
So because of that, Stephanie, I have yet been to Pittsburgh to visit, but we're going to plan that trip soon. But the whole time I've known Stephanie for the last 10 plus years, she's always talked about the hot dog shop.
It's like my first stop right off the plane.
And so the fact that Alini and Junior went there on their own free will that last day on their way out of town, now my expectations are extremely high.
They said it's the best cappuccino they ever had. And I never had the cappuccino because I don't like coffee stuff, so I can't vouch for the cappuccino.
See. I'm curious to try all the things at Hot Dog Shop. Just
all the things.
Just out of
curiosity.
The
chili cheese dogs, the chili cheeseburgers, the chili pasta.
See, that's too much chili for me. I think that's.
I don't eat the chili either, but.
I mean, I might taste a little bit, but maybe just one bite. But chili, I mean, you don't want to have chili and then go on with the rest of your day or life even.
True. The first day that we went, so Rachel flew from Chicago. Well, she was in Boston before. She did a little two-parter as well.
She did what I want to do because Rachel went to Moulin Rouge, which is based off the film, and she went to go see that in Boston, which I really would like to go do that because I love the movie.
I didn't even ask her how it was.
Somebody else went. I think my friend Melanie went. I saw on her Instagram that she went. So I've known two people to go up to Boston. I'm wondering if it's going to make it to Broadway. I'm sure it will because it has great music.
I thought maybe it was traveling.
I don't think it's traveling. I think it's just in being introduced in Boston. So
well, she met one of our other Disney friends there. They did part 1 Chicago and then part 1 Boston, and then she flew to me, and then my mom took us directly to the hot dog shop.
Directly.
And as we were ordering, we were watching these like teenagers like scoop lard into the fryer, and I was like, "What is that?" Because I don't know. I never remember? Cooked when I worked there. Like the boys cook and the girls work the counter and stuff.
That's sexist.
So that's just always how it is there. So he was like and it looked like he said it was shortening. Okay. And I was like, "Oh my God, that's why the fries are so good because it's just fat."
It sounds like not the best place to go on a hot day with all that fat and grease.
I mean, it's just burgers and fries. It's just better than McDonald's. That's all. It's just more tastier.
So, is it a chain?
It's a chain, but it's only like in that area, like in the Pittsburg area, the surrounding area.
Well, so far we haven't really...
There might be like 12 locations. I'm not really sure.
I was going to say, so far we haven't talked much about Orlando, but that's all right. We said in the beginning we can talk about whatever the hell
I want to talk about. And sometimes when you live in Orlando, you just got to get the hell out.
Oh, well,
you just got to get the hell out and just enjoy life a little bit.
Any place you live, you have to get out. And so we did New York the weekend before. And you know what happened to me for New York. So I specifically was going to New York to meet Alini and Junior because I knew Alini wouldn't be here this year for a trip to... Well, she was here at the very beginning, but not any time else. So I wanted to go see her. And a Junior, of course, but I think Junior's going to come back in October. So I wanted to go see them while they're here in the States. So we met in New York, but I was supposed to fly that Friday night to New York, and my flight got canceled because of rain in New York. So JetBlue pretty much was canceling all their flights, and there was no way I could get out, which was really frustrating, and that had never happened to me before. And so I got out the next morning, and
you were lucky.
And the hotel didn't give me my room back for that first night, which I guess I kind of understand, but kind of like, you should have just provided the service and just give me my room for that. Well, but whatever. But we had fun,
or at least maybe a credit for a future night.
Yeah, we had fun, and New York was hot too, but it was a good time. But it was a lot of travel. I had Vegas that weekend before, and then New York the weekend after. And then I was dealing with a sore throat.
The never-ending sore throat.
Yeah, it never ended, and so I had to go to the I had to go to the clinic after I got back from New York because I just couldn't stand it anymore. Which the minute clinic at CVS was very convenient. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I've done it.
For me, it was really convenient.
I've had good and bad experiences with it.
She just gave me my Z-Pack and some other thing.
The last time I went to the minute clinic, asking for a Z-Pack because I know my body and I know what I need and I know what my body responds to and what it doesn't. This woman sent me home with over-the-counter nasal spray and Kleenex and told me to just wait it out.
I remember you told me that.
Thanks.
Well,
take my copay. Thanks.
My it's not a doctor. It's a what is it called when they're not a doctor, but it's
a physician's assistant.
Yeah, my PA was good. She was nice, and she gave me my Z-Pak, and she gave me one other prescription to help the inflammation or whatever. But now I'm back to normal.
Good.
So it was probably good for me to kind of take some time off from the blog, even though I posted a little bit from the podcast. I posted a little bit on Instagram. But we should remind everyone that when they're listening to this, they still have like one more day to enter for the Key Australia.
So everybody go freaking enter. I mean, God.
Stephanie's disappointed because
I'm very disappointed in all of you, except for my mother and a few other choice friends who have entered the giveaway. We're putting out a beautiful pair of Key Australia sunglasses on a golden platter, and nobody wants it.
So when this
don't be lazy. We have 1 million likes on the photo, but everyone's too lazy
to type
to do the instructions. Come on now.
So when this releases on Sunday, I think the 12th of August, I think you have that day and then the next day to enter. So go enter if you're listening in time. So I prepped a little bit for this show to kind of get into
today's my mom's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday,
But
Mom.
it's her birthday today, so this is a little
Today's
belated.
August 10th.
So it's a belated birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday on August 12th. Belated. Sue Ellen. So I did do a little bit of prep for this episode, so I have some things to talk about. So the first one being, and we haven't talked about this in a while, but this was kind of a hot topic in January when it was discovered that Artegon, which is over in the attractions area, was closing. But the Bass Pro is still open, and it's going to stay open because when I was doing my reading today,
that place is popping.
Always. The Bass Pro, supposedly they own the land. The specifically like the land where Bass Pro sits, it's owned by Bass Pro, and I read something that it's rumored to be one of the top Bass Pros in the nation or something, like as far as sales.
It's in a good location, and this kind of area, people do stuff like that. Not this area, but like, there's a lot of state parks and with the ocean and everything. Mm-hmm. People will go boating, they go fishing and stuff like that. And
if you're a tourist and you come to Orlando and you don't have a Bass Pro in your city, then you can go to a Bass Pro here. Anyway, that's going to stay there. But I was reading on Orlando Weekly that Michael Dezer, I think you pronounce it Dezer, not Dezer, Dezer. He is, I think he's a billionaire, and he's a real estate developer. He was involved with the Porsche Tower in Miami, the Porsche Residential Tower in Miami, and many other projects. But he's the person who has purchased the Artegon property, or what once was Artegon, because the name, I guess, is going to be changing. I'm not sure exactly to what. And it's still not very clear exactly what direction it's going to be going, but there's going to be some kind of auto museum of his car collection in that space, and there are pictures now that you can find on Orlando Weekly and elsewhere where it shows like that pretty much Artegon is cleared out, and he's
on the inside. They've kept the structure.
They've kept the structure over there for a while, but he's starting to put his car collection. So basically, this rich guy's car collection is going into the building that, or the structure.
I'm rich, so I can do.
So I'm guessing. So like basically, what Orlando Weekly is saying, what they're reporting is that, and I don't know if Orlando Weekly was the first to report this, but this is where I read it, and that there's going to be some kind of auto museum aspect to it, and he has quite the extensive collection of automobiles, and he has one of the world's largest Vespa collection or something as well. He also has a James Bond car collection that's on display down in Miami, I believe. And he has this place called Dezerland in Miami, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, but it's like an indoor amusement park. So my guess is that he's going to turn this Artegon into some kind of potential indoor theme park as well.
We need to go to Miami. We can go there, and then I want to see the ice cream museum.
Yeah, as long as it's still there, because I think we need to go there soon, because I think the ice cream museum does, like it was only in LA for a certain amount of time, in Los Angeles for a certain amount of time. So I just I thought that was interesting that's kind of what's going on. Honestly, that land is such a huge piece of land, and I feel like
in a prime spot.
It's in a prime spot. I feel like an auto museum is just kind of wah-wah, a little wah-wah.
Might be a tourist draw. Who knows?
Yeah, it's kind of touristy trappy to me.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. I mean,
I'll go if it's free.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay, but
yeah,
I'll go.
I don't think it's.
I love
free.
cars.
The thing is, I'm surprised that like the outlets didn't try to buy that land, and maybe they did try to purchase it, and
they need to build a parking garage there.
Yeah, they need to build a parking garage. Heck, they could even build a freaking hotel and have money coming in from that hotel. People would stay at the premium hotel. Instead of the premium outlets, it's the premium hotel, and people would stay there just to shop. But that was just an update I saw today on Artegon, and hopefully they move along quickly with that. But the way that the inside pictures are looking is it's not going to be anytime soon. So, and then did we talk about this? That the Four Rivers Cantina food truck is coming to Disney Springs? No, but I believe I saw
it on like Disney Parks blog or something this week.
So
I saw it scrolling through our
We
feed.
talked about Four Rivers in the last episode, and it just so happens that Four Rivers is in the news now with they're opening a food truck at Disney Springs. I believe it seems like the food truck is the same food truck that Disney was using for their food trucks at Disney Springs, which their food trucks at Disney Springs, I never had anything. Nothing ever like jumped out at me to eat there. But I don't think I never saw really a line at any of them.
No.
So
I think they took a good idea, but then they Disney-fied it and it kind of dumbed it down.
Right.
Like so each food truck has a theme for, like one is like Magic Kingdom theme, one is Animal Kingdom theme, and the truck is painted that theme, and then the food is kind of like food from certain restaurants at those particular parks, which is cool. I mean, but it's not really, I don't know. It doesn't really fit with the food truck theme, I don't think.
So the Four River...
I think it would have been cooler if they would have invited, just like maybe what they're trying now is inviting local businesses to come to the property,
right,
and sell to the tourists
I agree.
Our local places.
Well, I think it's cool that this is a local restaurant that they're bringing in, and it's going to be like a permanent thing. Like it's going to be a daily thing a daily offering that you're able to partake in. It's nice that it's a local chain that Disney is allowing to come into Disney Springs. So they're going to have, it's a cantina. So they're going to have, it's kind of like more of like a Tex-Mex theme, and they're going to have taco cones. So like tacos in the shape of a cone, to make it, easier to, walk around and eat. So kind of cool. Go check it out online. We'll try to repin or repost from Instagram a taco cone to our account so you can see it this week, what it looks like. But I'm kind of excited, mainly because it's, like I said, it's a local chain that is getting a chance to have a permanent offering at Disney Springs. So that's awesome.
Then this is going to be opening it up to a whole bunch of people that may have never eaten it before.
Yeah.
Because, Four Rivers is obviously an Orlando staple, but if you're just coming here on vacation and you don't ever venture off Disney property, you don't get a chance to have that food.
So another thing that I saw in the news today, I saw in Orlando Business Journal, and then I think it was Orlando it was just Orlando Business Journal. But MagnifyMoney is putting Orlando 14 in a top 25 list of boomtowns.
What's that mean?
So like cities that are growing. So the methodology ranks cities based on multiple growth factors, including population, number of housing units, labor force, unemployment rate, median income, business growth, etc. And then based on those factors, the cities are scored out of 100. And so Orlando is number 14th in America as far as a boom town.
I would expect it to be higher than that.
Well, America's a big place, but being in the top 25, I mean, that's pretty notable. Fort Myers comes in at number 17. Sarasota, Florida comes in at number 25. Tampa's at 36. Jacksonville at 39. Daytona at 60. And then Melbourne at 74. So I definitely feel like Stephanie and I both feel like we see so much growth here in Orlando. I know when I was in Brazil in 2015 and I came home back to Orlando after being away for a year, there was so much new construction, new apartments. It was crazy, just the amount of growth that took place in 1 year. And, it just continues and continues the growth.
Sometimes places that I drive frequently, it'll be like 1 week, nothing is there. And the next week, literally there's a whole building there. Like a whole, like a restaurant, like a whole restaurant is built like in a week.
Right.
And you're like, where did that come from? Or like you drive past a neighborhood you haven't been by in a couple months, and there's a whole apartment complex built. It's crazy.
So that kind of leads me into a little bit of a news as well. It's kind of like the news hour here. But so Amazon has their Lake Nona distribution or fulfillment center opening up and starting.
I didn't know this.
Starting today, August 10th, which is when we're recording, through August 23rd, they're doing interviews for fulfillment center employees. So they're going to be hiring 1,500 employees to support that fulfillment center in Lake Nona.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Lake Nona is kind of an up-and-coming area.
Yeah.
I feel like it's growing because of the medical things that they're building
there. It's right near Medical City, which is basically a large cluster of different hospitals.
A UCF doctor school, like
Nemours.
$1 billion vet hospital.
I didn't know there was a vet hospital.
Oh, a big one.
The vet, yeah.
And a Nemours Children's Hospital.
So that area is growing, and it's going to grow even more with the Amazon hiring all these employees.
That's a great place to live, too. It's not very far from the airport.
Yeah.
It's a little out from the tourist area. If you're kind of looking to, maybe move to Orlando, it's a nice spot.
Nona Blue is a good restaurant out there. If anyone, have you been to Nona Blue? Mm-mm. Oh, it's so good. It's just it's not an easy drive for us to just like pop on over to Lake Nona. But Nona Blue is an awesome restaurant. It's kind of like it's like a kind of bar grill place. The food is so good. So if you're interested, you can head over to amazon.com/MCO jobs. And you can learn more about their hiring fair, their job fair that they're having through August to help them open that fulfillment center. I've always been curious about like working. I think I know one person who's worked for Amazon. They seem to really like working for Amazon. I can imagine that it's probably a pretty good company to work for, I'm guessing, with benefits and all that.
I wonder if you get Prime for free.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a good question. You can also we've heard of people doing the delivery for Prime now.
Yeah, I've talked to like some of my Uber drivers tell me that they work for Amazon delivering as well and make like $18 an hour.
That's crazy.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Which I love Prime now when you're like just feeling lazy or sick
you're ill and you can't get out.
You just don't want to leave the house. But they're always prompt and come exactly when they say they're going to come. So another thing on growth is this, and Stephanie, we haven't talked about this at all, but Lucky's Market, which is a grocery store, they are building a location in Hunters Creek, and then they have a location coming to Winter Park as well. And then they already have an Orlando location. So I looked at their Instagram today. They have a bunch of locations all over the country, but I looked at their Instagram just to kind of get a...
So what is this, like Aldi's? Is this like Publix?
I think like
Save-A-Lot?
I'm getting the Fresh Market vibe. Do you know Fresh Market that they have in Hunters Creek?
Yes, but I've never been inside.
You've never been inside. So Fresh Market is like a little bit of Whole Foods.
Their tagline on Instagram is organic for the 99%.
Correct. And so that is what, like, kind of, to me, that says a lot about, okay, what my expectations are now from them. So organic for the 99% means that I'm going to be able to afford organic food.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously the 1%, meaning the rich. So organic for the 99%. So when I go here for the first time, which I have not been here yet, I'm going to expect some decent pricing.
Yeah, Lucky's Market. I don't want to be paying $3 for an apple.
So I pulled up their website and I'm looking at their weekly ad just to get an idea. And this is the Orlando weekly ad.
That's not bad.
So let's
98 cents a pound for peaches.
Peaches?
Peaches.
They better be Georgia peaches.
Georgia peaches.
There's corn, 3 for $1. That's
3 for
good,
$1.
right?
Yeah, I guess for organic corn, that's good. Yeah.
Now this better be organic too, since their Instagram said organic for the 99%.
Well, if you look, I have to say, if you look here at the thing, out of all these fruits, there's only an organic stamp on 2 of them, and those 2 are the most expensive.
Well, hell.
Strawberries for $2.98 a pound.
Listen, Lucky's Market. If you're saying organic for the 99% as the first line of your Instagram bio, then I would expect everything to be organic in the whole store.
Maybe not. Let's go.
Dreams Room. Yeah, but where is it in Orlando? Because we should go.
So
it's on Colonial. 11750 East Colonial. Well, that's fine. We can go there. But yeah, I'm kind of excited. So I've heard a rumor.
See, $1.98 a pound for boneless, skinless chicken breast. That's not organic. That can't be organic for $1.98 a pound.
Lies. But I think their prices is good. Listen, this is my thing. My thing is that I like Publix.
Hummus. BOGO hummus.
So my thing is I really like Publix. All right.
It's overpriced.
I hate Walmart. I like Trader Joe's. And Whole Foods is too freaking expensive, even though Amazon owns them now and they said that they were going to whatever.
Lower their prices.
But whatever.
Yeah.
But it's still ridiculous. My thing is though that Publix needs to have a good competitor that is not Walmart, because we don't go to Walmart because we ain't going to put up with the bullshit at Walmart. So we need more grocery stores, I think, to compete with Publix and to have some competition, to have options. Trader Joe's doesn't grow fast enough, in my opinion, because they only got 2 stores in the metro area.
And their selection is not all that.
Yeah, their selection's
Smaller
not huge
store.
because they bring in their own and they produce their own products and they source their own products, and so it's different. But I'm kind of excited about this. The rumor that I heard is that possibly Celebration is getting a Lucky's.
I could see that.
Which that makes me excited because I work in Celebration, and
but there's that Publix over there, isn't there?
Yeah, but fuck the Publix. I don't want the Publix anymore. I want to have options.
Tell me how you really
feel. Because if you come to Florida or you come to the South, the only grocery store you're gonna have is Publix.
That's it. And everyone thinks it's so great.
Which it's fine.
I think their subs are great, says everyone.
Their subs are great.
No, but
it's fine. But they have they don't really have a monopoly, but they have a freaking monopoly on the freaking grocery store market here.
Yeah, they do.
Because it's Publix. Like growing up, we did have a place called Lucky's, but it's not the same at all as this. It's a totally different thing. We had a place called Lucky's. We had a place called Albertsons, Safeway. There was more, but there was options. You had so many different grocery stores. But here you either have Publix or you have Walmart, and that's it.
We only had 2 in my town.
And we don't even have a lot of neighborhood Walmarts here. Like in Oklahoma, in Edmond, where I lived in Oklahoma, we had a neighborhood
Brahms.
Walmart. Well, yeah, you had Brahms, but it's different.
I want Brahms ice cream.
But that's my thing. I hope that Lucky's can do well. I think that Fresh Market, which they do have in Hunters Creek, I think it's a little bit overpriced, and it's not a place to it's not convenient to me. So it's not a place that I go and grocery shop. But we do grocery shop at Sam's because that's where we get protein.
Protein.
So
broccoli.
I'm looking forward to Lucky's Market. I hope that it also comes to Celebration. I think that would be nice. I think that if the rumor that I heard is that it would be on Celebration Boulevard, there's lots of development right now on Celebration Boulevard, which is right by World Drive. As you leave Celebration and go to Walt Disney World, there's lots of development right there. So that's right near where I work. So that would be awesome to have that option. So anyways, check Lucky's out. It's luckysmarket.com. And then let us know what you think on the Instagram.
On the gram. I went to, weeks ago, I went to a really cool bar in the Lake Buena Vista area. I don't know if I told you about it. It's called Player One. And it's a bar. I mean, it's really...
I've heard about Player One.
It's hidden. It's like a hidden gem because it's in a strip mall that's like back in a dark corner off of Palm Parkway. And the signage is not that great. But it really went above my expectations.
Yeah, I want to go there.
You would love it. They have a really great selection of like craft beers. They don't have any regular beers, only craft beers.
Do they have food?
They have cocktails. They don't have any food.
Okay.
But they allow you to bring food in. They have like these awesome like setups with these really nice high-backed chairs and flat-screen TVs. Mm-hmm. So those spaces you have to like rent them. You have to like put your name down, and I think it's extra.
Are they like those little like cubby like?
It's not cubby. It's like open, but it's like 4 chairs to a TV. So basically you and 3 of your friends, you rent that space for X amount of time. And that's where you would play like the PlayStation and
that's cool.
The Xbox and all that.
So do you get to like pick what game, or like how does that work?
I don't know. I didn't really like look that much into it.
And how much is it to rent one of those spaces?
I didn't look because we were playing all the free games. So when you come in, the night that we went, I don't know if it changes, but there was a $5 cover. You go in and they have tons. It's just like this. I had the feel that it was like a clubhouse.
Okay.
Like a basement clubhouse. Like it's like lots of little like holes and nooks and crannies, and they have a whole bunch of like vintage arcade games, and it's just free play. Like you don't have to put money in or anything. You can just start playing whatever's available. And there was like a good amount of people there where you weren't like just waiting around to play.
Right.
They also had Rock Band. They had the Dance, or they had like, you know, the one where you use your hand as the controller, like you swipe your hand instead of using not the Wii remote, but the other one. So there's like a sensor, and then on the screen you swipe your hand to make a choice on the screen.
It's like the Microsoft Kinect through Xbox
like
360 or whatever.
So there was a dance game you can play with a partner. The waitresses were dressed up like the night we were there. They were dressed up like characters from comic books, I guess.
Okay. So I'm looking at their website right now, and I'm not seeing how much it is to rent like a space with the 4 seats in the console.
But those areas are limited. I would say there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6 groups of 4 seats available.
But if you go on their website, you can like see what game systems are available, and then which games are available for that system that you can actually play.
And they also
there.
have games at the bar. So if you're sitting at the bar, there's you can be playing group games like Mario Kart and stuff with everyone that's at the bar.
And if you want to learn more, you can check out player1orlando.com, and you can take a look at all that they have to offer. This is cool. I kind of want to go and check it out.
I don't like video games at all. Not in the least little bit. But I mean,
you like Mario Kart?
I can't say that. I like games for a limited time with other people. I don't like shooting games and stuff. Like I like fun games, like dance games, like driving games, like Mario Kart, stuff like that. But I have to say, there was one game here that I found that just like brought back so many memories. So when I was younger, my dad used to take us to our mall had an arcade, and we used to play this one game all the time. Every time we would go to the arcade, and it was the Simpsons game. And it's like one of those games where you have like 2 buttons and a joystick.
Right.
So one button makes you jump, and one button like makes your weapon go.
Like an arcade game.
So, yeah, like an old school arcade game.
Yeah.
But but like kids don't know about that stuff anymore. So you're just like slamming the button, like slam, and you're like, oh, my hand. But we played, and I used to always be Marge, and Marge is the mother of the Simpsons, and her weapon is a vacuum cleaner. So like when you hit your shoe button, she slams the vacuum against the bad people. And literally I was like playing this game, and it just like brought me to tears, because I was like thinking about my dad, and I was thinking about how we used to play it all the time. And when we walked in there, I was like, oh my God, I wonder if this video game. And I'm like searching around every corner, because I've never seen it anywhere other than the mall that we used to go to. And I saw it, and I was like, oh my
That's
gosh.
awesome though that it was there.
Made me so happy.
So it's a pretty big place then.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
And where is it again?
It's off Palm Parkway in a little strip mall there.
It's where the Hooters is.
It's where the Hooters is. There's a Cece's Pizza.
Yeah.
There's a what do you call it, where they cook in front of you?
The
hibachi. Yeah.
There's a Brazilian steakhouse there now, I think, too.
Yeah, there's a Brazilian steakhouse. There's the Sea Dog Brewery.
Right.
There's a bunch of stuff back there, but it's a really hidden area. I don't think you would find it. If you were like a tourist, you probably wouldn't find it. But it's not that far from downtown Disney Springs.
It's really in the attractions area. I'm guessing it services a lot the cast members.
But that's what my next point was going to be. It was a very strange crowd. It was like some really buff, hot-looking gay guys and a bunch of weirdos.
You did tell me that.
Like a bunch of weirdos, like the
nerds.
dorks. Like nerds. Like fat, dorky,
so
glasses, weird shirts, nerds. So there was like hot people, nerds, but they were all like combined. I didn't know hot people played video games like that.
Yeah, we do.
But and it was just really weird. It was like weird, nerdy straight people and hot gays.
I mean, I'm going to have to go check it out.
But yeah, it was a really nice crowd. And I really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. Yeah, we definitely need to plan.
I liked it a lot.
I wonder if Dev doesn't like video games, but I wonder if she would just suck it up for it.
Get down here. I don't know. She would. Maybe.
That would be fun, definitely, to go check it out. So I wanted to talk about one other place before we finish out the podcast. So we can also talk a little bit about couch surfing. So I am on the couch surfing app and accept couch surfers from time to time when the mood strikes me. So couch surfing is it's kind of like Airbnb, but it's people who are staying with you for free, and you freeloading basically, but
off your generous hospitality.
I've met a lot of cool people from all over the world.
It's a great way to network.
Yeah, I've networked for sure. Friends, people from all over the world, different cultures. You kind of get to learn from them.
I used to do Airbnb. I used to own a home in Orlando, and I did Airbnb, and I loved it.
You did Airbnb from your condo as well, right?
Yeah, for a short amount of time. I hosted a few guests at the condo, and then when I moved into my home, I did it there, and I loved it. I honestly met the coolest people. Yeah. I had some of the best conversations because people that are willing to do off the beaten path things like stay with a stranger, they're very open-minded. Sure. They're very smart. They're very money conscious. Yep. They are people who think outside the box.
I think that's true. I think it's like they're smart. You know what I mean? You're not getting some doofus person. It's someone who thinks outside of the box, and it's somebody who's willing to, be on an adventure. And so the way I look at it too is it's like you are traveling without traveling at being the host, because you're receiving this person. Most of mine have been international. So you're receiving this person from a different country. And so you get to get a sense of that country. And my experiences have been great. So,
and you get to show off your city. You know what I mean? Because they have questions like, where's a good place to eat, where's a good place to go, you know, stuff like this.
So I take it, and depending on the person, some people want to hang out, some people don't want to hang out. At the very least, though, it's...
I would say the majority of the time they're here for a business conference.
Correct. Business
on their own dime. So.
For couch surfing, though, it's been a mix. So some people have just been traveling the world, and this happens to just be a place, you know, pin on their map. So anyway, last week or the week before, I had a couch surfer. I think it was a week before, a couch surfer from Indian, Rohan. He was here with me. And he was here for 2 nights. And so one night he had no plans. And so we met back after I got out of work. We met back here. And I had heard about this place. It's called King Boa. And it's in downtown in the Mills 50 district, which, you know, it's a lot of our Asian district is there within Mills 50 as well. And so King Boa is where we went. It was so good. I think, Stephanie, that you might even like some of the stuff here. So
he always goes places without me. Like, seriously. It's like I'm always at work. So him and Dev constantly cheat on me. And just go places, and then they say, "Oh, you would like it. You would like." Oh, well, who the hell's ever gonna take me? Nobody.
So what is Bao?
Because you already went.
So I'm on their website, and they say right off the bat, "What is Bao?" And it's not a taco nor a wrap. They're soft, airy steam buns that are filled with an array of delectable proteins, sweets, and toppings. And that's a great description of it. It's like a steam like bun type thing that basically is you put stuff in the middle and it becomes almost kind of like taco shaped. It was really good, really flavorful. They do have shrimp, so that's why Stephanie would like it.
It also says Orlando's exciting new restaurant concept.
And it's like kind of a hole in the wall type place, I would say, for sure.
These prices are good.
Yep, and each of us did 3 for $9, so they have a 3 for $9 option. This is the one that you would like, the firecracker shrimp, chili lime marinated shrimp with guacamole, lemon pepper, aioli, and cilantro. You would like this one. You probably just take out the guac. And
I would take out everything. Just give me the shrimp, please. Thank you.
Or that. But I actually ate it with the guac, and generally I have a reaction to guacamole. It gives me some kind of indigestion. If there's any listeners out there that understand why in my late 20s, early 30s, well, late 20s is when it started. I'm in my early 30s now. All of a sudden I have this kind of weird reaction to avocado and ripe bananas, let me know, because I'm very curious. Somebody has told me that it is not an allergy, but it's some kind of indigestion issue.
Could be an enzyme in that occurs as the avocado or the banana.
But basically what happens,
it's ripe.
Like right above my stomach, between my stomach and I don't know, it's just like my upper... my chest area, my esophagus, it gets kind of tight, like I didn't chew my food, even though the food has been chewed. It just gives a really uncomfortable, tight sensation, and sometimes it can get kind of very uncomfortable. My breathing doesn't alter; it's just very uncomfortable, and it's not fun. And but that's enough about me and my.
And you can't be a basic bitch when you have a guacamole allergy.
I know, I can't be as basic. But I don't have to pay for the extra guac at Chipotle. So anyway, go try this King Boa place. It's really good. We even tried a dessert one as well. And they have tots as well. They have like truffle tots, fire tots. We didn't have any of the tots.
Fire tots? That sounds like something dirty.
We just had the bows and the bows. And it was really good. Go check it out. Like I said, it's in Mills 50. You can check it out at kingbowwow.com. That's their web address.
Bow Wow.
King Boa Wow. But this is an awesome place. Go check it out. And yeah, for sure. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. This was a fun episode.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It turned out better than I thought it would.
Yeah, because I did all the planning. You didn't know what was going to happen.
Well, somebody needs to plan for me once in a while, but somebody needs to plan for you. Brian and I are both planners and caretakers. So it's nice when somebody else just does all the work and surprises you with something beautiful.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Please follow us on Instagram at Orlando Out of Context.
And go do the giveaway.
Yes, go into
Enter
the giveaway.
the freaking giveaway.
Visit us at orlandooutofcontext.com and listen and subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and Google Play. And then please leave us that review on iTunes. We really appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Ew.